Yep, I think it is started. Yep. So today we are gathered to conduct a debate on the topic OTT versus normal theaters. And by ChatGPT and some random functions, I got the side as I'm favoring OTT and Ayush is against OTT, meaning Ayush is supporting theaters. So we are taking 2 minutes to think on the topic. And here we start.
Shall we?
Okay. Are you going ahead or shall I start? Are you support going in?
I can start.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, do you remember the times when we used to go to the movie theaters? It was like a fun activity with your parents, your family members, or your friends. I used to like look forward to this moment whenever we had a plan to go for movies, to any particular movies. The uh, the fun part of buying the tickets, the experience of going, dressing up and going to the theater hall, uh, being checked by the security guard, and then going inside, the fresh aroma of popcorns, the coke, the dark theater, cool AC, something a very memorable experiences for me. There are many advantages of going to movie theaters than watching the movies on the OTT platforms. So first of all, the experience cannot be beaten by the OTT platforms. Going to the movie has lot of yeah, yeah. You can continue.
Okay, one thing like Ayush mentioned is about the time and the beauty which the like sensory activities which the theaters experience provided. But with time, only one thing is constant, and that is change. And as we are going ahead, there is some many smart advancements coming in the technology. So today I'll be talking in the favor of OTT over the top, and it is like a platform where different media or different th- different movies, web series are streamed, and some platforms are like Amazon, Apple, and there are many more. Now, while I speak about why OTT is better, the first thing which I feel is the most core principle of OTT is the choice. You get a great choice. You can search. You can literally go and search which movie you want, which movie you don't want. Which you get filters like based on the filters you can choose if you want to watch old movies, if you want to watch new movies. if you want to watch a horror movie or comedy movie or any of the genres. Whereas this is not limited for theaters. Like most of the times there are boring movies, at least nowadays, like there are not good movies in the theaters, and so there is no good time to go and watch the movies and like which you don't like, so it does not make sense. So this is the first and the most core principle of advantage of OTT which I find. And um, yeah, this the other points which I would like to say is OTT does not only restrict to theater movies. It also gives web series, it also gives reality shows, it also streams matches like cricket and football. It also shows many daily soaps on like Hotstar and all, many serials basically. So this is what why I feel OTT are far better as compared to theaters.
Yes, as you mentioned about the options which the OTTs provide, you can watch many things, movies, series. There are many types of movies, different genres, the sports. But this is not necessarily a good thing. On the contrary, we also have to consider that when we have too many options, then we can suffer through analysis paralysis and go through all the options and end up watching nothing. It will just waste your time just scrolling through the movie options, and instead of just enjoying the show, you just spend your time watching and end up watching something, anything random, and you don't really enjoy your time. Also, another advantage of movie theaters is that in case of movie theaters, you usually go with someone. You don't usually go alone. You go with your friends or families, which is a good thing, because it is a collaborative experience, a group activity. You always have fun talking to your uh, friends, sharing the movie experience. Whereas in the case of OTT, you can watch anything. You can watch it alone all the time, but also there is a chances of overindulgence. There is no restriction on the OTT platform. You can go on watching anything you want as long as you want, and which can end up wasting your precious time, which could be used more productively. uh, yes.
Okay, so first point which Ayush mentioned is about was about choice paralysis which OTT provides. But what if like I want to watch anime movies or cartoon movies and that is not streamed at all in the theaters? I want to watch certain things which is not present in the theaters. So OTT is the only choice that time. And again, another thing which Ayush mentioned was about the time limit. We can also set a lot of restrictions uh, like maybe stop the OTT app in 1 2 hours or 3 hours as per whatever our work is. And choice paralysis, again there are many recommendation channels on the YouTube right now which gives your choice. So based on your algorithm, I think you'll get the movies which you like. Whereas the other factor, one point which Ayush mentioned was like in theaters we go in a group and to visit and like enjoy, but that is also possible in the OTT, like in the hostel or somewhere, like a group of children or a group of friends can sit together, watch movie and have coffee or tea. So that is also possible in the OTT section. Also, I feel OTT is more compared to theaters, and like you don't have to travel a lot. You like in 190 is the some monthly subscription, you can watch n number of movies in that. But comparatively theaters is in a better side, more bad side in that. Okay, so my question to Ayush is what how do you have to deal with the choices which OTT provides, and like theaters are not able to get the choice? So like how do you deal with this?
uh, Yes, but even in the case of OTT, not one platform will have every movie. Some movies are available only in certain platforms, certain OTT channels. Some are present in other OTT channels. There are n numbers of OTT platforms. And in such scenario, also you will have to, if you want to watch a few movies, and if all those movies are in the different platforms, then how are you going to watch it? You don't. You again have to buy a subscription for everything. So instead of in case of a movie theater, you can just um, of your whatever particular choice, you can go to the movie theater and enjoy. Also, the experience which movie theaters brings, like the sound system, the picture quality is much better compared to the OTT. and with just one ticket you can get the everything. Instead of OTT, you will maybe such experience could be replicated, but you have to buy expensive sound system, maybe better screen quality, better TV, or maybe the new technologies like VR. Again, they are very costly. Whereas in the movie theater, you can choose a 3D movie, and they give you glasses, the ticket cost itself, which is much cost effective and much more enjoyable. The sound system there is much better. You can really feel as if you are in the movie itself. You can feel the vibration, the action, everything.
uh, Again, first point which Ayush mentioned was about having choice paralysis, that you will have again the paralysis about which OTT platform to take. But comparatively, if you like decide like which is the best for which streams more of your genre, then you can just choose the ones which you like. For example, Netflix can give better movies as compared to Disney plus Hotstar. You can choose that. At least you get some choice. But in theaters, you do not have any choice. Second point which Ayush mentioned was about the like speakers and all the facilities provided in the theaters, which is not possible at home. But you should also consider the fact that theaters provide more disturbances. Like you do not you cannot pause, play, or rewind anything. You can't do that. So how are you going to, like, if you miss for a few seconds, somebody gets up on the chair or somebody shouts and you miss that 1 2 minutes, will you watch the whole movie again in the theater?
Mm. Again, missing just a few seconds won't really make that much
What
of
if
a
it was a
difference unless it's
climax?
like a
Climax suspense,
unless
like
it
all the
was like a
audience
climax.
stands up and be like, oh, and you cannot hear what was going on.
Yeah, but since the it is a movie theater, you can just if you miss like very crucial point, then crucial part of the movie, you can just ask what happened to your friend or whoever sitting next to you, and they can cover up with you quickly. So, uh,
I can continue. My other point was like you
well,
face a lot of disturbances. Like there can be some group of people who just simply shout in the middle and like who misbehaves. So your entire experience will be uh, getting very bad. And there are also chances that many a times like they shift the theater from one screen to another just because of some problems, and you face a lot of like dependencies on others when you think about theaters, but that is not a case in the OTT. So how do you have to deal with all the if else with conditional statements with somebody else and not by you?
I. Mm, like that's a good point, but I don't really believe it's a very valid point. The difficulties you can also face during the OTT platform while watching the movie at home also. Because some family members can disturb you. Some other person may want to watch the TV. Someone else want to watch something other show instead of that particular show only. Maybe there is internet issue. Maybe there is some regulatory issue, like someone put any ban on certain shows, then you won't be able to watch it, right? And also if the company decide their license went out, then they if they decide not to renew it, then the certain movies won't be available on their platforms.
Next thing is about privacy. If there's any time like I want to watch alone or with my partner or some like alone in this, like I don't want anybody in the theater, is it possible for me? Like it is very much easily affordably possible for me in the OTT but not in the theaters. So how do you have to do it?
Usually there are like VIP sections in the theaters or movie or cinema halls also, where you can watch comparatively with more privacy and better experience. Though I agree that at home you can have more privacy, but you are going to watch a movie there, and
You also mentioned about VIP section, and I mentioned about affordability. So it is more affordable for me to watch multiple movies with privacy with OTT and not with movies.
it's about the experience, not about the quantity. I would say, because if you are just wanted to enjoy, then I don't think you will mind watching expanding little bit more for the experience. Whereas in if in case if I'm watching at home, then it's like a everyday thing, and you won't really enjoy it watching that much. Every day you sit at the same place, same couch, same position, but and that that won't give you that experience which movie theaters can provide you. So though affordability is one of the most important advantage of OTTs, but I don't think you just buy OTT as a full time. You watch movies occasionally, not every night. For occasional indulgence, I think movie theaters cost is justified.
Occasional. What was the last line? I couldn't hear you.
Like for watching a movie is not every night thing, right? You don't watch movies every night. You watch it once in a while, maybe once in a month or a week. For that, I think for the experience, paying for the money, paying for the movie theaters is justified. The affordability part, say.
I think the probability by which you are saying justified is very low. Like you have to also consider like, oh, if I want to watch movies in a weekly, and if there are like if just I am a fan of all the experiences and not the not any other stuff, then I'll also have to look like which movies there is it in my genre. So I think in all the senses OTT is far better because it gives you choice, it gives you privacy, it gives you you can, it is more affordable, it is more like you can go anytime, so you can like have so many other features. Then why you are saying theater is better when you get so much advantages in OTT?
As I mentioned earlier, those advantages not necessarily be always true.
But
As I
most
mentioned earlier about again, uh, uh,
in most of the cases it
you
is,
can.
you are telling in like 5% of the time where it does not work, but it is like 5% of time theater experience will work, like considering all the genres are fine, movies fine, and everything.
But in realistic scenario, I don't think you will find the movie right away. Most of the time, at least what I have experienced or what I have read is most of the time you end up searching a lot instead of watching something. You turn to like browse a lot instead of watching. But also, what about the uh, like more mental impact of OTT? You can students can get addicted to OTT and keep on watching movies continuously and instead of focusing on their work.
uh, Students can again I have also mentioned about like you can have some limits, and also it is not like you'll pay for every month, like whenever you're free, like a wise student will be like whenever he's having vacation, that time let me buy a subscription and he can watch that time, not like every time you
But
go.
in the same vacation, you can go to the movie theaters also, right?
But you don't you will not get the choices, right? Like one movie will obviously like work for 3 4 weeks, and other movie will come by that time, so you just have maybe like two choice, and that is not like also in the same genre which you like or your taste.
Mm. But
My another
for
question.
that, why? Hmm, hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
My another question to you is OTT is very much trying. There is a show on Netflix, I guess, called as Kaleidoscope, and it is very smart. Like there are 8 episodes, and you can watch them in any order. Like you can shuffle and watch them any order, and it will give a new storyline. Second, there are shows like which you ask you to do decision. Like if there's something happening, they will ask you, shall you go in past or future? Then you select future, then whatever is based on your choices, whatever will happen you'll be able to see. So there are many smart shows, but in theaters there's no such capability or capacity to do certain things. So and if it is all like there might be capability, but it is proven and it is happening right now, so how do you have to how can you say that theaters are more smart with respect to such things?
Mhm. I don't think we have to be smart here. And like you are watching the movies or the shows to enjoy, not to become smart.
No, no,
For
that is not the concern. But I'm saying such smart features which are available right now are not available in the theaters. Like somebody might love to, have such experiences and be creative enough, but in theater there's no scope to do that.
But what about the collaborative experience which you can enjoy in the theater? Like there is a huge audience. You can like what whenever some intense things happen, everyone's like rejoices and makes like everyone is happy and like during the suspense scenes, everyone is like shocked with the sense of being at the edge of the seat. You don't really you won't enjoy that during the OTT platforms. It's just like a normal your day to day life activity. You are just laying on floor, laying on your couch.
Why is the answer to my question a question? I want the answer to the feature part. I will answer it, but I want an answer from
But like it's that is the case, then it's you don't really, if you are only particularly interested in the features, then definitely you should buy OTT. Why do you want to watch movie theaters? Like if you are only targeting someone who only wants OTT for that particular reason only, then I don't think he will ever go to the OTT. Like it is not even a, we are not even comparing apples with apples. We are comparing apples with oranges. It's not even a good comparison. If you want features, you can build something on your own app or something. Why do you go watching movies for that? The As the topic was about OTTs versus theaters, the main premise is about watching movies or enjoying the shows, not doing some activities as such.
no, it is part of having shows, right? Like you mentioned, even the shows which are not even possible to be featured on the theaters. Like there are no shows, there are no web series coming on the theaters. Again, you are like going against whatever you're saying, and like it is not the context about like which is better. Like it is about the context of which is better because OTT provides more features than theaters. Also about the collaborative experiences that you have said, like you can in OTT you also get the feature that you can watch the movie on the small phone, on the big device, on a TV. You can like watch personally with private privacy on the phone. You can watch on laptop with 2 3 people. You can put it on TV, watch whole family or whole classmates or whatever it is. So you can all obviously scale it up to different levels, but theater depends on too many things. Like you can also feel like the AC is too much. Decide, you can't just go and say put off the AC, or you sometimes it is also possibility that behind seats are like you cannot hear from behind, like there can be some damages. So you do not have that what you say that power in your hand to do any changes. But in OTT you can just adjust and do anything that you want.
Yeah, but again, when it comes to the movies, the movie duration is fixed, and you like take your time intentionally to watch the movie, and you try to avoid all the other things. Whereas in the case of OTTs, it is very much possible that one members want to watch one thing, one members might want to go to the bathroom, then you had to pause for him, and again you might end up just skipping it. Like it won't give you the same experience again. Like if there are four members watching, one three members are interested, one member is not even interested in watching it. In case if he goes to somewhere, he has some works comes up immediately urgently, and if he goes, you won't really enjoy that part. Whereas in the movie theaters, you don't you usually take your time deliberately, you take your time intentionally to watch the movie. Whereas in case of OTT, you can watch it anytime. So uh, instead of an advantage, I think it is a disadvantage, because you won't really go with the mindset of watching the movie. You just do for the sake of it instead
Uh,
of enjoying it particularly.
Let me restate what Ayush has stated. Like when I asked him, like if somebody like shouts in the theater hall, and like if you miss certain important part, then he said you can ask your friends. But such thing like asking friends again and again, won't that disturb the other friend? Like you also mentioned that pausing a OTT movie can disturb the friend, but asking again and again, won't that disturb the friend?
Why would you ask again and again? The disturbance can happen, like not like the movie is 2 hours long, usually 2 hours long. The disturbance won't last like 1 hour 30 minutes, maybe at max 5 minutes. Or there are security measures in the movie theaters. The guard can ask him to keep quiet, or if there is anything they need, they can it can be taken care of. Like you won't be disturbed all the time in the movie theaters.
But there are more people in the theaters. You can be more disturbed, like somebody's phone ringing again, somebody's baby crying again, somebody having a fight again and again. There is more possibility. But in friend
Why
circle,
why
not
will someone have usually?
let
I
me
don't
complete.
haven't seen any
But
fights in movie theaters itself.
a fight in the sense, somebody might take their phone and talk loudly, and some big group of people might just enjoy, but you like shout and enjoy, but that might affect you. But in the OTT,
But
like
again, the movie, the sounds in the sound system in the movie is much louder, and like one if a guy is speaking, then I don't think it will affect that much as such.
what if
Also,
it is
some movie
immediate
theaters
behind you?
provide you the headphones also, right? You
What if
can
what if the
also use
people
that.
headphones?
Some movie theaters do that. They give you like a headphone to. watch the movies.
That is so unhygienic. They'll be using the same thing again and again. This is a matter of other debate, to be honest. Like it is so uncomfortable. Like they won't be like proper size for everybody. It might be tight for somebody, it might be loose for somebody else. So again, you don't have such freedom in the OTT, freedom that you get in OTT as compared to the theaters.
Yeah, if I have to say, I will just restate the same thing. Like, not you won't be disturbed all the time, but I think we are like restating the same things now.
Okay, another point which Ayush has mentioned was about the time that you waste more time in the OTT as compared to the movie. But then in the OTT, you get so many features. You can watch at 2x, you can watch at 1.5x. What about the theater? Theater, you can't do that. Like if there is a song going in the middle, like you have to wait for the entire song to get over. But in the OTT, you can just skip it or 2x or do anything. I'm not.
Why do you
I'm
want to
not
skip
advocating.
the
Sorry,
particular?
I'm not advocating that features are the only way, but feature is what makes OTT better as compared to the theater. So yeah,
But again, for the features, some features are like even in the OTT platforms, there are various subscriptions levels, right? So for to get the particular features, you have to pay extra. So like how it is affordable?
but at least you get choice to do that. But in the movie, you do not get the choice.
But
Theaters,
again,
you do not.
then your affordability point is you're contradicting your affordability point. You were saying that OTTs are usually affordable, but if they're like mm, the subscriptions models for every different levels, even in the OTT platforms, there are usually advertisement runs, whereas in the movie theaters, it is not the case. Only at the start, which you can miss by going at particular time. But in case of OTT platforms, there are usually more advertisement in between. And if you don't want to watch the advertisement, you have to buy the higher version of the same platform.
Mm. Affordability here. Don't you think like 199 for month is more affordable as compared, or 200 per month is more affordable than traveling again, as you also mentioned popcorns and all this stuff, traveling, coming back, buying a ticket for 400, 300 rupees. uh, uh, isn't it more affordable that you buy a subscription plan which has all the features like 2x, 1x, and then watch it aram se for entire month and n number of movies? Like affordable, didn't really understand what you meant by saying that it is not affordable. It is comparison with the theaters, not the OTT versus OTT.
But
Also,
again, I would say about the experience, experience which movie theaters provide you is not provided by the OTT platforms.
I told you in that perspective also that you get experience in the small screen, larger screen, larger screen, larger screen, and the whole like TV screen. So in that perspective also, maybe one point that stands out is the sound system, which I could agree to, but then the all the other factors are favoring OTT. Also the factor like captions, subtitles. You can choose different subtitles, different language subtitles on the OTT, but in the theaters, like I have had this experience once in a movie where the subtitles, the background was white and the subtitle was also white, so you were not able to watch that. It was a black and white movie called a Brahma Yugam, and you were not able to read the subtitles. But in OTT you can easily slide the caption somewhere else and read it, or change the color of the caption. So the amount of freedom you get in OTT, the theaters won't be giving it. And with like time, you're as you're getting more busier to in life, I think OTT is much more better as compared to television theaters. And this is, I strictly believe in uh, support this ideology.
Yeah, fair enough. I think I will just say the same things again.
Let us say thank you. Feedback. I think today you had bias. Like theater, there's nothing much we could have said. Just
Still, I think I did a good justification for the movie theaters. From your side, I had few more points also.
go
Like
ahead.
you could have mentioned about the popcorns part being very expensive. You cannot bring your own food.
Food. I forgot. Yes, food. I could have said. Like you can cook at home and like experience at chips. I could have said food. Can you take 1 minute to think?
Don't really think of any more points, but maybe you could have focused more on the cost price, little bit more instead of focusing just on the features. Maybe like for like you have to travel to the movie theaters also, and there will be a parking issues sometimes. Like
Parking issues.
uh,
Good.
parking issue, like you have to travel there, then again the very limited options of food, and that too very expensive. You can't bring your own food, also maybe your own water bottles also sometimes. And uh, like even buying for expensive water bottles is not really worth it, right? So maybe you could have elaborated a little bit more on this.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
But I think food part was definitely you should have
yeah,
mentioned more,
I
because
forgot the
that
food
is one
part.
of the
I forgot the food part.
major advantage of OTT. You can buy anything, you can eat anything however you want.
Hmm. I forgot the food part, but I did mention about the travel part that when I was saying it is
Hmm.
not OTT versus OTT when you mentioned about subscription. But yeah, I could have mentioned more about it. Or do you feel I should have stressed more on the types of content you get, like web series, movies? I said in just one line, not say much, and I did not even question you on that. Like matches are streamed, web series are there, daily soaps, reality shows. You get so many options, but
Yes, I think you should have stressed.
stressed
You
more on that.
focus only on the features like
Quick.
2x and
Mm, mm.
the captions part, instead of you had many other points, instead of just focusing on one features only. Features only.
Features only. Okay, okay. Yeah.
Like the with one subscription you get everything, right? So you can watch sports, you can watch movies, everything,
Mm,
series.
mm,
And also you can watch old movies, which is not possible
mm,
in the theaters, right?
yes.
Old classics. Like,
Uh, I said it in just one line in the search part, but I should even genre I mentioned in one line, but I think I should have stressed more on that. But other than that, I think I have covered a lot of points. Just emphasis maybe should have been distributed
hmm.
rather than concentrated on one place. Uh, yeah, from your side, I have some points. When mentioned about uh, privacy, like I used to say, you get a privacy, but for the movies, like movies are easily pirated in the OTT when they are in OTT, and then there is feature like sharing of OTPs, passwords are shared, and the subscriptions is shared. So it is like very illegal, and it is against the law.
Hmm.
So you should have
Piracy, I should have mentioned.
you
Yeah.
should have mentioned about this privacy and about password check, almost same points. Then
Piracy.
piracy. Then you could have said about the box office collections get more clear perspectives, but this is not that important point. And then you should have stressed something more about when I said about features, you should have said about like 3D glasses, IMAX, IMAX theaters, right?
Not really.
And there are also certain theaters now which are like 3D theaters. Entire globe type is a theater, and you just be in that. So there are again a lot of more experiences, but in the experience part, you just stressed more on the sound system maybe. And I don't know. This can be really point, but can is theater like theater stage used for some other works later? Like for no, that is
Not really.
not a good point. Okay, so yeah, these were 3 points which I have had.
Yeah, another point I think I could have mentioned was about like some OTT platform promote only certain types of shows, and like they will pop up more, which is more profitable for the platform
Mm-hmm.
instead of what audience watches. So the algorithm can be manipulated. I could have mentioned this when
Mm-hmm.
you
You could have mentioned this.
mentioned about the choices part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I recently read about this. Actually, this is actually true. Like the OTT platforms only provide you shows, or at least at the recommended part. Like they manipulate you somehow to only watch the shows which are more profitable to them. Actually, like
Mm-hmm.
there are different licensing fees, right? And if they get more views on certain platforms, they will get better money. So they promote these certain shows or movies.
Mm.
Like this was a good point. I think
This was a good
that
point.
this is actually true.
Yeah. That is it. Let us go to. Shall we do a GD now, or shall we have the like? Shall we conclude now, or shall we go to ChatGPT and then conclude?
Mm. I think we should go. We should conclude and then go to ChatGPT maybe.
Yes, yes. So I totally believe that OTT is far better as compared to theaters. Only one factor, which is like experience and a loud experience and sound, and that is the only factor which takes OTT away from the theaters experience, that theaters part. But the only OTT provide different choices. They provide different. The, they can be easily accessible as compared to the and affordable as compared to that theaters. And again, let me not stress again with the features, but there are many features which OTT provides and which theaters do not. So I would 100% choose OTT over theaters.
Yes, to conclude, yes, definitely movie theaters give you both movie theaters and OTTs have their own benefits and disadvantages. Like movie theaters can give you a good experience, better sound quality, different types of movie theaters, as my colleague mentioned, as my opponent mentioned, and yes, there are OTTs gives you many features, very customizable to your need. But definitely, I think once in a while, a movie theaters is a good thing because for the experience, and it's a good collaborative experience or fun activity. You can definitely have more fun where it when it comes to the movie theaters, and yeah, at the end, it's individual choice.
Mm. Yeah. Let us go on ChatGPT.
Just one more thing. Like when I concluded during my essay for my during one of my interview, like I mentioned that both OTT and theaters will go hand in hand. Not one will overtake other,
Hmm.
and both have their own merits and
Yes.
something like this. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Also, one more thing I just struck me. Also, during my that essay, I also mentioned about the recent GST on the popcorns, like 18% on certain. So
Hmm.
maybe you could have
I could
mentioned
have
that.
mentioned it. Yes. Popcorns. I did not. I should have gone on the food part. I did not really go there.
Like I wrote this about I wrote something like and forgot about the taxes on certain types of popcorn. Something like in a very fancy way I wrote.
Uh-huh.
If they read, then they will definitely give me good marks.
Yes. Anything else? What do you think should be the solution for like theaters nowadays? Let us just talk for some time. Like currently, recently there are no good movies, but then they are like trying to show the previous like re-release of movies. But then still it is like it is not based on the choice of who wants to watch it. So it totally takes the choice away. So how do you have to like go ahead with the theaters?
Now, for that, I don't think theater can even solve this issue. Like there is so much population, and for every individual need, you cannot. have certain types of movie, but maybe we can do something like a
Polls,
poll system,
poll
maybe
system.
like you can maybe a community type of group or something where they will vote for whatever movies they want to watch,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever the majority wants to watch in that particular week or particular month. So maybe once in a week there will be a poll like throughout the week. Whichever movies comes at the top, they can display showcase that movie for one particular day of the week. I think this will solve the issue.
Even I feel that is correct. And regarding web series, do you think any scope that there's any scope for web series to be on the theaters, in the theaters?
Mm.
I recently read that Stranger Things director wanted to put all web series in as a movies like one episode because they are like 2 hours long. But then it is not possible for all the web series, and it is not like likely for Stranger Things to also work like that.
Again, it will like every episode like gives you a proper, if you like combine few episodes, then it won't be the same experience. So at least for the web series part, don't think it can be displayed in the movie theaters. For web series we can stick to OTT platforms.
I wish I just remembered about one point which you could have easily mentioned was about the regional cinema which cannot be on the OTT. Like they struggle to get featured in the
uh,
OTT, but in the like small theaters they can be
yes,
watched.
certain movies don't release on OTT platforms, yeah.
You should have mentioned it.
And then this was a very good point.
Mhm. So let us go ahead with the ChatGPT. There's no 3D OTT.
3D OTT, I have no idea. Yeah, I came up with few points like
Mm-hmm. Just
uh
just a second, yeah.
like hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in case of movie theaters and OTT, like in case of OTT, there sometimes the movie releases later in the OTT platforms, and if you want to watch it, like if you are really want to watch it immediately, then only movie theaters are the options.
Very nice one.
And against movie theaters, you could mention about the hygiene part, but like rest, the movie theaters washrooms are usually unhygienic and not clean, and uh, also watching movies in the theater can also support the directors or the producers, like they can have the actual picture like how well the movie performed,
Uh,
maybe which is not the case in
yes.
OTTs, but still it is possible in OTT. But like financially maybe it is more beneficial for the director to um, release in the movie theaters maybe.
Mm-hmm. Regarding
And again the regional content point was there,
mhm. Uh,
which you mentioned.
I also mentioned directors that point, like I was saying you get better box office
Yeah, you
clarity,
mentioned
but I wasn't
blockbusters
able
too.
to
Yeah.
convince it, like. tell
Box
properly.
office. Hmm.
The other points which you like hygiene also I said for the headphone, but did not have it as a point. And what was the other point? That was a good point that it gets released later in the OTT. That was a good point.
Hmm.
Uh, one another thing is about theaters you could have mentioned was of exclusive premieres. Like some movies have their premieres on the in the theater and not in the OTT. Like they get some audience and get feedbacks in the theaters, and then they get then there is it is good for directors and again for having like there are interviews conducted outside the theaters in some big cities where the people audience are asked questions like how was the movie and they get better clarity of like how it is.
Hmm.
So yeah, that is the thing. So that again helps in the word of mouth. Like there are many people speaking outside the theaters, so it helps for the business of the movie as more compared to the yeah, I think you could have mentioned this.
uh, Also one like from feedback point of view, like you could also started since the COVID we have seen a rise in the OTT
Hmm.
platforms where going to the movie theaters was
Nice.
not even possible, so it would given you a good like a strong start.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. And today you had a very good like you try to bring it to a
True.
human connected level, like drive on the emotions. But
like I,
I was thinking
like
like
I
what
wrote
could I
this
do, but
in the essay, right?
then I did not get anything in mind.
Like I use this both intros during my essay, right? While writing it is much easier to like think in like direct speaking.
Huh, huh, huh. But yeah, that I'll try to improve the introductions. Hmm. Yes, that is it. Do you have anything to add?
Mm,
Yes, that was a nice debate
I
on the
think we are good.
topic OTT versus theaters. And I think you really managed it very well. Like there was no great points for you to see, but you managed it well. Yeah. Chalo then. See you tomorrow.
Yes.